Hello, hi, it's Rev Pipster here. Bit of a celebratory mood at the moment. I've achieved qualification, higher education qualification, and which I'm chuffed about. Yeah, I am. We're chuffed about in our household, and we've got initials after my name now, which is nice. The initials that I've earned. I've earned them by hard work and study and education. And education is a wonderful thing because it helps you not just in the specific subject you're studying, but also in other things in life. Helps you with career, helps you with going on to further education, helps you with making you an actually even more rounded and stronger person. Drives up the superstitions and rounds your life on truth, which is great. Now the Bible has always upholded and encouraged people to be educated and to it says to become skilled at what you do. It encourages you, it exhorts you to become skilled at everything you do and to be a workman worthy of his pay, and also worthy of praise for his work. And people like the Bereans, for example, are upheld as examples of people who listened to Paul's preaching, St. Paul, and then went back and checked out, examined what Paul was saying, what Paul was trying to teach, to find out whether these things were true. And of course they found out it was true, and many of them believed. Also it can help with your life and your protection. You don't just take things at face value. You say, what is being said here? What is being said? What is being promoted? Like the warning of St. John, to test the spirits. Not every spirit who comes to you comes from God, so test the spirits. God also, encourages us to have His word and to go back and check His word out to see whether what He's saying is true, and not just saying, falling for fables and things. You fall for fables and things, you end up with all sorts of rubbish. You'll be saying, oh yeah, like cleanliness is next to godliness, and all this sort of stuff like that, which isn't in the Bible, but people believe it is. And so it's good, and you do question everything. You do ask questions, and there isn't a single educator in the world, I don't think, who would reject someone sincere questioning. If they're going to come out, if they're trying to question them to trip them up, then yeah, of course they would be upset by it. But when they get questioned to find out whether their evidence is correct on their own deductions, it's a good thing, and they're quite happy to have that done. I find the same with God as well. You test His word, and you test it with humility. I'm not saying, if you come out and say, oh yeah, okay, God, come on, prove this, like Satan did. Didn't God say, turn this stone into bread, and you shall be filled? He was tricking God. He was trying to test Him in the wrong way, out of disrespect, not out of saying, no, God, can you really do this? Misquoting the scriptures. But I got a certificate in higher education just recently, and I'm so pleased about it. But if I were Jehovah's Witness, I at best would have been discouraged from taking this course of action. I mean, the Jehovah's Witnesses have a long history, long history, which is documented, and the challenge to you now is to go and find out whether what I'm saying is true or false, where they've actually told people, because Armageddon is coming in 1914, 1975, etc. Because the world system is going to end. They've always said, don't take higher education. Just as they said don't take marriage. Just as they said don't get inoculations and stuff. Just as they don't have transplants and things. All these things out of context. What the Bible actually teaches. Even now, I recently heard from a reliable source a tape recording of a recording from a sermon given where the elder who was speaking effectively said, if you send your children to university, there's a high risk they'll come back as drug crazed sex addicts with a qualification and a VD to boot. Okay, so that's not encouraging people to learn, because they won't. There's horror stories they do. But as one Jehovah's Witness said to me, or ex-Jehovah's Witness, a year or so ago, he said, they don't like students going into higher education because they question too much. They are encouraged to go by their tutors and question and to test all things. But like the Bible says to do, test all things and find out which is so. Hold on to that which is true. Okay, that's what the Bible exhorts us to do. And that's why the Watchtower aren't very keen on it. I had a Jehovah's Witness who I worked with, who shied away quite quickly of actually involved in any deep discussion about it. But we had this discussion on the cross. I made a comment on, I think it was on Facebook or something, and he cut and pasted a whole ream of stuff, which is quite common actually for Jehovah's Witnesses on the internet to be cutting and pasting reams and reams of Watchtower publications in defence of their position, because they're not told to go and check these things out for themselves. And of course a lot of this stuff had misquotations in, and I was able to respond just on 2 or 3 of those misquotations, destroying his argument, of course, because the stuff the Watchtower was saying was wrong and dishonest. And that's another reason why they dislike their people, witnesses, going for higher education. It's a great shame that so many Jehovah's Witnesses I hear about have relatively... They have important jobs to do in society, but they're important jobs they do because they're not qualified to do anything else. They can't think of themselves doing anything else, like becoming managers themselves or whatever, because they've got to have time free to do their witnessing, and they're not actually educated enough to do the higher things. Yes. So all I can say to you is, go out and check it for yourself. Be like a Berean. Do a web search or something to see whether the Watchtower have discouraged people from taking a higher education. And then maybe you'll be taking your first steps to being higher educated too. Okay, take care guys. God bless you. I've got to go now. A father's work is never done.